Hello, you're welcome to another video tutorial with me, Kundi Shadrach, your most loyal and service-oriented peer tutor. In this video, you learn all that you need to know about political parties in comparative politics. Do well to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave your comments and your questions in the comment section. Progressively, this will be the structure of this video tutorial. 1. We are going to understand we are going to understand all about political parties. 2. You know the roles, functions, and importance of political parties. 3. We are going to look at party systems, and party system has been partitioned into 3 different parts. A. One party system. B. Two party systems. And 3 or C. Multi-party systems. The 4th item that we are going to look at in this video are the categories of political parties, and we'll conclude with party families. Stay tuned and enjoy. Political parties are essential for the effective working of modern democratic states. Political parties have multifarious duties to perform. They are the most significant sub-actors who participate in and regulate the political process. Organized parties identify issues on which they seek popular verdicts. Periodic elections provide opportunities to the parties to present these issues, and if supported by the people, they become basis of governance by which they represent the people. Political parties are certainly essential to the functioning of a democracy. They perform different functions within and outside the realm of politics. Their leadership, policies, internal practices, and patterns of interactions with other parties and institutions have profound importance for the systematic governance with which every democracy practices. So then, what is a political party? A party refers to an organized group of people having clear ideology and based on certain well-defined policies and having clear objective of winning political power. Every party has a definite leadership, and its ultimate aim is to gain political power and to utilize such political power normally through democratic elections. You would allude to the fact that politics is premised on the struggle for power, and in this struggle for power, organized group can surely be more effective than unorganized mob. Some of the parties have adopted revolutionary routes while others resort to evolutionary processes and constitutional means. This then rolls us into the functions of political parties or importance or the roles of political parties in a democracy. Parties contribute to democratic governance through the functions they perform for the political system. Political parties are often described as institutional mediators between the civil society and those who decide and implement decisions. Some of these functions include, firstly, aggregating and articulating needs and problems as identified by members and supporters. This is made possible by political parties uniting sectional interests, bridging geographical differences, and inducing cohesion among the people. This is to ensure order and system maintenance. Secondly, political parties play the role of socializing, educating voters and citizens in the functioning of political and electoral system and the generation of general political values. Thirdly, they contribute in balancing opposing demands and converting them into general policies. 4. They activate and mobilize citizens into participating in political decisions and transforming their opinions into viable policy operations. Importantly, political parties recruit and train candidates for public offices. In sum, the functions of political parties are very, very important. Despite the fact that in a democracy, the ultimate aim of every political party is to win power. On the occasion where a particular political party fails to win power, that does not imply the demise of that party. In that case, such a party functions as a critique and watchdog of the government policies and keep them in line for them to be able to meet up to the expectation of the people. They also have the responsibility to maintain and strengthen the structure of democratic norms and values. Political parties thus induce both political and socio-economic developments. This then propels us into party systems. And one would ask, what is a party system? Party systems refers to a set of patterned relationships between political parties competing for power in a given political system. Such a notion assumes the existence of rules, norms, and regularities in party interactions concerning mainly coalition building efforts and electoral competition. Viable parties differ from country to country in accordance with legal requirements and peculiar circumstances obtaining in a particular country. In US and the UK, for example, a two-party system prevails, while in some countries, including France, India, multi-party system prevail. Differently, in authoritarian and communist countries like China, one-party system operates. Let us now unpack all the party systems we've mentioned above in this video tutorial. So on our first list, we have one-party system. The one-party system is founded upon the assumption that the sovereign will of the people of the state reposes in the leader and the political elite. This authoritarian exhibition is found first in monarchies, later in dictatorships, and more recently in democracies. There are variations in single-party systems prevailing in different countries. For the purpose of this video tutorial, it will be grouped into three. The first typology of a one-party system is 1. De-jure one-party system, 2. Dominant or de facto one-party system, and 3. Hegemonic one-party system. The de-jure one-party system is a party system in which only one political party is legal to operate. As dictatorship requires the monopoly of power for its survival, it is imperative for the abolition of all other political parties. Though elections are conducted, it is just to manifest the latent support, popular support, voters, because voters' choice is limited to only one candidate. Features of a de jure one-party system includes 1. There exists only one official party that has a monopoly and is led by the same persons who rule. 2. Membership of the party is a prerequisite for acquiring important governmental privileges, including jobs. 3. The party supervises the governmental efforts to ideologically indoctrinate the people. 4. It is characterized by its elite personality. This type of system was found in fascist Italy under Benito Mussolini in 1922, and in former USSR, that's the Union of Socialist Soviet, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic by the Communist Party, and in Ghana in the 1960s by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. 2. We have the dominant or de facto one-party system. In the dominant party system, it refers to a political system characterized by one large party that dominates all others with a large majority following over a protracted period of time. In this system, all parties are legal and allowed to compete in free and fair elections with universal adult suffrage to challenge the dominant party. However, no other party receives enough votes to come close to 50%. Examples include Japanese Liberal Democratic Party, the South African ANC, that's African National Congress, and the Sweden Social Democratic Workers' Party. The third group of one-party system is hegemonic one-party system. A hegemonic system refers to a political system in which other parties are legal, but such parties are satellite to the dominant party and are under strict control of the dominant party. Example includes Algeria's National Liberation Front. Now, let us look at the two-party system. It is a political system in which only two parties, despite the presence of other parties, have substantial support of the electorate and having the expectation of forming a government. Under this system, the majority of the elected candidates at a given time belong to any one of the two major parties which form the government, while the others remain in opposition. In such a system, there may exist more than two parties, but there is the alternation of power between two giant parties. The United States, the United Kingdom, and Ghana provide a good example of a two-party system. In the US, there is the alternation of power between the Democrats and the Republican Party. In the United Kingdom, the transfer of power takes place between the two major parties, that's the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Likewise, in Ghana, the transfer of political power takes place between the New Patriotic Party, that's the NPP, and the New Democratic Congress, that's the NDC, in Ghana. The third type, or the third system of parties that we are going to look at is the multi-party system. A multi-party system is one in which more than two major parties exist who struggle with each other for power, but no party can alone secure absolute majority to rule. This type is exemplified mostly in countries where there is always a coalition building in that country, and such countries include India, Canada, Lithuania, Estonia, Ireland, etc. It is always said that democracy has thrived much more in multi-party systems than all other party systems, even including the dual or the two-party systems, based on these advantages which it has over the other party system. So one, it is more effective in corresponding the division of public opinion, especially in plural societies, that's big societies, including societies like the Indian society. Two, it represents and satisfies the aspirations of diverse interest groups within a particular state. 3. Under this system, a voter can choose among more parties and candidates than available under the two-party system or a one-party system. 4. It reduces the fear of absolutism of the majority. And finally, it is more flexible because under this system, groups can freely be organized and unite separately in accordance with the exigencies of circumstances. Interestingly, political parties are further classified into either mass party or an elitist or traditional party. The classification of political parties was presented by Maurice de Verger in 1951, and it has become popularly and generally accepted within the political space. So we begin with the elitist party. So the elitist party have the support of mostly a small group of people who are mostly the elites. And the second category is the mass parties. So the mass parties are parties who have large group of followings, mostly majority of the people within the state. And mass parties are always classified further into socialist parties, the communist parties, and the fascist parties. So such parties have held a good number of people as compared to the elitist party in other jurisdictions. So communist parties have much more following than elitist parties in other worlds. Fascist parties under the regime of Benito Mussolini, and even socialist party currently. Progressively, for the purpose of this video, in comparative politics, we will look at the final typology of political parties, which is party families. Yes, party families. Party families. Party families refers to the political parties being categorized on the basis of fundamental social, political, and ideological cleavages of the past and present. Interestingly, SEYMOUR Martins and ROKKAN identified 4 cleavages in some countries in Europe, and such cleavages: 1. Center-periphery cleavage, which is regarding religion, the relationship between religion and language. 2. The second cleavage that they identified to a state was that the relationship between state and church cleavage, which is centered on mass education. 3. A land industry cleavage regarding freedom of industry and agricultural policies. 4. The owner-worker cleavage, which entails a conflict between nationalism and internationalism. Importantly, it is worthy to note that parties belonging to one party family should be significantly distinct from parties belonging to another family. There should also be enough ideological policy cohesion between the parties belonging to each party family. The following are some of the party families with which you would group any political party into with regards to the ideology with which that party is being moved on. 1. The Liberal Party. 2. We have conservative parties. 3. We have social democratic parties. 4. We have communist parties. 5. We have ethnic and regional parties. 6. We have agrarian parties. 7. Christian democratic parties. 8. We have left socialist parties. 9. We have green parties. And more recently, there has been an addition to it, which is the right-wing populist party. And all the above mentioned are categories of party families. So any political party which will be formed on this planet would belong to any of the above mentioned party family, or it will be a creation of another party family. As an example includes the right-wing populist party, which was recently introduced. Conclusively, political parties can be said to be the lifeblood of every democratic system. They structure and streamline the game of politics. In my own analysis, it is more democratic to operate in a multi-party system, as it offers wider choice to the people. Different sections of people find their voice through their representatives, who may or may not ensure proportional representation. In most of the cases, coalition governments are formed which are based on compromises on the policies of various parties. Consequently, ideology often goes into the background. On the merit side, it may be noted that it is more democratic and none of the parties can become arbitrary or authoritarian. On another level, the respect for legislature is enhanced as its decisions are taken after due deliberation on the floor of the House. They are not arrived at in the party caucus and then rubber stamped in by the legislature. This system ensures representation to all minorities and also protects their interests. So in sum, political parties are the building force or the building blocks of democracies, and as such should be respected and promoted for their existence. Thanks very much on the successful conclusion of this video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know your impression about this video tutorial in the comment section, and do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I want your appetite and intuition for more video tutorials on comparative politics. Keep safe, and I hope in meeting you in the next video tutorial.